Just finished up wiring the front part of the cockpit. As you can see, it's well lit. Need to tone down a fat finger here. We got a pointer. Whoop. Need to go over this red and green again. This is one of the ones that I lost and filled up with the solar res, so I think it came out good. The center one here, let me get a fat finger here. I have a blue SMD stuck behind it. I have a light, an SMD up underneath this section here. I have one light in here that's lighting that up, and I got another one over here. So let me flip it over and show you. So I got a light block this with some black, and then like I said, this will I'll run this out the sidewall of the cockpit, but it's looking good. Here's the yokes. I'm not going to bother lighting the front of this because you're never going to see it. On the back here, you've got that, and I thought about lighting it, but you know, trying to snake a fiber optic through there, it's like, yeah, it just ain't gonna happen. So I'm not gonna bother with it. But alright, so that's that for the front part of the cockpit. It's almost done. Like I said, I glue on the yokes. Alright, figured I'd just show you a little bit of a light test here. I got a winky blinky on the left side of the console, or the wall there. Got a changing light on the back wall. Kind of goes from you know, the blue, the red, the green. It's very slow. That's about it, because I don't think you're gonna see we're not gonna see much of this side of the wall, not through the cockpit window. I figure I'd just, you know, do it while I was doing the lighting, just in case, you know. What I do need to do is put one more light in the do this without screwing it up. So this is the back of it. What I'm going to do is put just a small light here and then cover this, and what that'll do is cause a short. Here, let me get that prop back up. What that'll do is it'll light up all of these other ones here, and it'll light up the TV screen. And I have a decal that HDA Model Works made up for me. I don't know if you remember the sine wave, or the sine and the cosine wave kind of working together. But so that light alone will light up that screen. It'll light up that, and then those bottom pieces. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. There's the other one. That's the other side. I just haven't put the bulbs on the fiber optic. Same thing. I got the bulb here. Gotta build a little light box, and then I'll paint it. And we got fat fingers out of the way. Like I said, this one's just a little bit different. I got. I don't think I'm doing. Yeah, I am. I think I lit that, but like I said, you're going to be looking at it from here. At the best, you're going to be, you know, maybe seeing this side of the window. So yeah, you maybe catch a little bit of this, but all this back here will be, you know, kind of lit up, as well as the side there. So, all right, moving on. All right, I figured I'd give you a little preview here. This is all the lights are connected. So it's my winkies and blinkies and my color shifting, and then my, you know, the side light there. But that's kind of the way it's going to look in the cockpit. You know, of course you're only going to probably see it like from here at best. I still have a decal to put on the TV screen. I have a sine, I guess sine cosine wave that you know, you saw in the TV series. Jerry Hedgecock over there at HDA Model Works made it up. You know, looks good. So I was just waiting to finish this part up here and call it done. So use a little bit of panel liner up on the AC vent. Boop. Didn't mean to do that. Looks, it came out alright. Looks a little dark, but like I said, you're not gonna see it. Too bad, because, you know, like I said, you're gonna be looking at it from here. So this is the starboard side of the cockpit. So let me hook up the other one and show you what that looks like. Alright, this is the port side of the cockpit. So like I said, you're going to probably see maybe that much of the wall. So it's enough there to keep you interested. Again, I have a decal that's going to go on that TV screen, the sine wave, cosine wave, whatever. So, and you know, put some there. You won't see it, I don't think, but I mean, it's there if it is. So, so like I said, that's kind of what you're going to see. So, and for the life of me, I couldn't get I couldn't make a damn phone cable worth of shit. So anyway, so basically calling the cockpit done as far as the winkies and blinkies, other than I got to put the decal on. And the next time you see it, it'll be installed in the interior part of the kit. So alright, till next time. Alright, Larry back here on this March 4th? Yeah, March 4th. So I've been slowly working on this thing, you know, kind of back and forth. So I just kind of bared down and did the cockpit. I got my lights, my winkies and blinkies in there. All I did was like 1.0 hertz blinking lights, 1.5 hertz blinking lights, and then you know, a couple of colors changing. So red, green, blue, I guess. Anyway, so what I'm doing now is fitting, you know, fitting the cockpit to the ship right now. Whether I gotta whether I got to do a little sanding in that. So, all right. So let's start with a couple of key points. Reach over here. So, all right, center point. I also did one back there, which you can't see, but right here, I put another center line, and what you can't see right there is there's a center line in the hull. One of those ribs that I knocked down a little bit, but anyway, that's the center of the hull. So line that up, line the nose up with the peak, and then I did over here, I marked where the door is, so you can see it's almost like this thing needs to go back just a little bit, because that is the opening on the door, and that's kind of what I was working through. So in order to kind of line up the door, it's probably going to have to scoot back a little bit so I can line up the door, which will relax this a little bit, so which is not a big deal. I built on these things, I had to do a little bit of a light box here, because I didn't want to bleed over going through the window, so built that up. I got this angle right because I was concerned it was gonna interfere here. What I didn't do was pay attention to this freaking angle here, so I wound up cutting out a notch so that will sit down where it's supposed to. So that's kind of where I'm at. What I'm gonna do is back up here, getting you all confused. What I'm going to do is probably run the wiring, some of the wiring up over the top. Some of the wiring over the top. And then the stuff on the bottom. For the winkies and blinkies, I'm just going to run up underneath the hull and come back up in here somewhere. The other thing, just kind of fitness, I want to find out where the center of gravity is so I can figure out where to put the post. I know there's a couple of people out there building this thing, and it's difficult. Everybody has their own opinion on how they're going to do it. So I think I was following Randy's build, and he had built, that part of the hull and saved this part. So I think this is probably the key, because number one, it'll line up the door, it'll make sure you got this distance set, and then if you got to do any kind of filling in the front here with these walls, because you got to line the door back up, right? Then that's the way to do it. And then I'll tackle the windows next. Like I said, it's just kind of a work in progress. I'm thinking what I might do is back up here. This damn thing's so big. I think what I'm going to do is, once I get this figured out and everything is still lined up in the back there, I'm going to put some stops. Get in frame here. I gotta start looking through this damn viewfinder instead of freaking past it. What I think I'm gonna do is put some stops, like on each side, here and here, and so when I drop the cockpit in, it'll go to the same spot every time. As I kind of remember Randy, when he built his, there was a lot of back and forth with the windows, trying to line the hull window with that window. So you need something you can drop in and drop out, or pull out, you know what I mean. So we'll go from there. Alright. The other thing I needed to do is kind of see where this girder fits in the cockpit, you know. how close the walls get, that kind of thing. So this little mock-up kind of gave me the information I needed. So I'll go ahead and I'll glue the walls in, the cockpit walls that is, get them straight. There's a little line in here. I needed to see where that went in relation to that wall, so we'll go from there. Other than that, like I said, I think Randy, when he got his all settled down, you went in the door. You know, when you went in the door, you had to step down. So yeah, I think he had another step there. I don't know. I have to go back and watch his video. But definitely, I got plenty of room to lower this thing. So I got the cockpit glued up. The only thing I will not put in is this, because this will take up the gap here, so that'll be the last thing to go in. Brain's going a mile a minute right now. So yeah, like I said, we'll get the hull cut up so that the cockpit sits where it needs to sit. Get the cockpit glued up. Get all that put back together, and then I got my seats over here. Oop, snacking on some pretzels. So got my seats cleaned up. It's kind of painting Betty and shaping Mark's head. The figure I had kind of had a wild hairdo, so I had to knock it down. And then you know, working on Valerie. So, in her 60s garb. What I don't have is like a Don and a, what's his name? Steve. I don't have the pilots. So, anyway, alright. Showing you my messy bench here. Alright, till next time. Alright, so just kind of showing you door. The floor to the door. Yeah, the floor to the door. The floor to the door is level with the door, but when you look in there, you can see how far the windows are off. So they're going to need to cut out just a little bit more on the floor. You know, the ribbing that the floor sits on. To bring that down. Oh shit, that's probably a good good quarter inch, good 3/8 of an inch. It needs to settle down. Yeah, I had to take the clamps off so that this thing would sit. So alright, so like I said, anyway, alright, so a little bit more work, which is fine, because I haven't played with that floor too much, so I'll cut out a little bit more. Still got, yeah, I got plenty of room to cut. May wind up putting in a step here, so alright. So it's probably been about an hour and a half. And I have, get in camera, focus. I have the interior lined up with the windows. And man, was that a pain in the ass. As figured, the door is dropped down about, I don't know, quarter inch or so, a little more. So let me pull the top off and flip this thing over and show you what I did. And let me just show you the hull. That's how much I knocked those ribs down. Right now there's probably about a quarter of an inch in the center, maybe about 3/16 on the edge. And all I had done As I was working, I was just taking a straight edge, laying it across here, making sure it was flat. Did so, did this one, did this one, did this one. The trick is when you start getting to here, then it's not so much the ribs causing problems, it becomes the bottom of the interior. So let me get this off the bench. I'll flip the... Alright, so this is what the underside looks like. If you have one of these, you know how thick it is, particularly right in here. So I ground, like I said, I knocked off about 5 centimeters here, you know, off the peak, blunted this, and then I just flattened down that contour so that it basically follows the hull contour. And I went from here all the way around. I knocked off a little bit of this edge. I left the back alone. Knocked off this edge. And really dug into this thing here. And as you can see, I went into the interior wall here. So it's probably about a half a pound lighter. But seriously, it's big improvement. So I'm kind of happy with it right now, the way it sits in the hull. So, alright, that's it for tonight. I'm done. I'm itchy. This damn resin is nasty. Alright, let me explain this one more time. I was watching the clips and really wasn't too clear on it. What I was doing is I was shooting some video every time I'd make an adjustment and show how it didn't look or it looked. But anyway, there's a lot of work that's going to go into this, getting the interior low enough so that the windows are set properly with the hull. So, like I said, Randy did a great, really good job. Like, I'm happy with the interior. It just requires a little bit of work. But as you can see, there's a hefty step down from the hull down to the floor, whereas before it was almost level. So it lowered down about, I don't know, 1/4 inch, 3/8. So let me show you. Yeah, let me get in there. Let me pull the top off. I pulled the interior out, and we'll just go through it step by step. Initially, if you've watched Randy's video, he tells you, you got to cut these ribs down in order to get the hull, the interior to set down. I think the number he threw out, and I'm not gonna lie because I don't remember what the hell he said, but whatever he had said initially, I had made that cut, and losing power. I made that cut, and it was still too high. So my first goal was to lower this as much as I could. So I got this down. This is down about 10 millimeter here, and then we're right about 5-6 millimeter here. Same thing up here. So this is the deepest part of the hull, and so if you maintain, a straight line from back here to here, then you should get that taupe. So, and then essentially what I did was I took the straight edge and just kind of went across and make sure I was level all the way across. So that was the first thing. The second thing I had was when I set the interior in. It was setting up. So, and it would slide back. I couldn't get the damn door lined up, so it always wanted to slide back. So what I'd done was I started contouring the floor to match the front part of the ship, because the ship, rises up like this. And the more I started lowering this, the closer to where I wanted to be came. Once I got all of this cut back to here, I was still having a problem with it. I'd slide the interior forward, and then it would be lifted in the front, and it would want to slide back. So that kind of led me to this. And what I have done, the first cut I knocked off about 4 millimeter. So we were up in here somewhere. So, you know, once I cut that back and contoured it, I saw I was going in the right direction to get the door lined up. So that cut back another 2 or 3 millimeter. So realistically, we're probably 6 millimeter from where that peak used to be. And I'm not worried about it because the hull comes up like this, and then you're going to have the top of the cockpit reaching out. So yeah, your seats will be, you know, I guess a little bit further back than maybe what you wanted, but it'll fit now. I didn't mess with this. This always remained my my pivot point. So basically, I started from here and I cut the angle back like this. So, and that's essentially how much I knocked off on both sides. So my cockpit walls will still fit on these, on this key here. So anyway, I hope that helps somebody who's having the same issues with trying to line up the interior with the windows without having to hack on the hull. Because right now I'm pretty damn happy the way it sits. This was one of the first areas that I started knocking down, both sides. So I knocked this down because this was getting to the point where it was hitting the side of the hull as I was lowering it. Same thing with here, because you had this big key stick out. So I lowered that, knocked off that, and I knocked off a good chunk of it over here. Like I said, contoured this thing so much that it's actually cutting into the wall. And this is where the door is, which was basically, you know, kind of out like that. All right, so that's it. Next time, I think I'm going to wrap this part up as far as an update and post the vid. Next time, I'll have the cockpit assembled and wired up. Like I said, I'm going to clean up this wiring here. Get rid of that. You know, at the time, like I said, I'm a noob. What can I say? So anyway, all right. So that's it for now. Good luck with your build.